All right, who's doing the intro?
You are, JB. You're back.
I guess I'll do it. I mean, it's been 2 weeks. What the heck?
Exactly.
So, Sideline Sports, we're just winging things tonight. We got John, we got Jake, of course, myself, JB, special guest from Penn, Ryan Drabowski. Welcome to the show, Ryan. So let's start. Before we get into Ryan and we interview him, big news today coming out of Buffalo. John, what are you hearing about Josh Allen?
Yeah, I'm hearing that it's a slight tear of his UCL. That's from the sources that I have. It's apparently a slight tear of his UCL. It's not a full tear. It shouldn't need Tommy John surgery. I would assume that it would be, Jake and I were talking about this beforehand. We think it should be maybe 4 games. Like, I'm thinking they IR him.
So
give him a chance.
Yeah.
Jake.
So look, we don't know that it is a UC. We don't know that it's a definite tear, but that's what our sources say. So
slight tear.
Obviously, right? We don't know the facts. Obviously, will be confirmed when Sean McDermott comes out tomorrow, likely, and speaks to the media and tells us exactly what's going on. But that is what our source is telling us, and it's a reputable source that definitely has connections to the organization. It's a reliable source. With that said, I'm going to call her out. She's going to be mad at me that I did it, and I don't really care. My lovely girlfriend, Kayla, is studying to be a physical therapist. So I asked her, I said, now look, I know she doesn't have all the answers. She doesn't talk to Josh and say, let me, run the test with you. But I asked her, I said, if someone's got what we were told, which is a slight UCL tear in your elbow, and I told her it was in the throwing elbow, what is the likely diagnosis? And she said, look, if he needs surgery, you can forget it. His season's over. He's not playing the rest of the season, obviously, which we kind of already knew. But she said at the very least, it kind of depends on the pain that he's feeling, but most likely we're talking about a multi-week injury, which is why John said we're probably talking 4 weeks. And why do we say 4 weeks? Because we're assuming the team says, you know what, we got a good lead, team looks good, let's just put him on IR and not take any risks.
Protect him from himself because he's going to want to play.
He's Baker Mayfield is a good example of what we can see what does happen, right? He hurt his shoulder last year. He forced himself to play through it. It didn't work out. Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield are not the same player by any means, but when a player is so resilient saying, I can play through it, it doesn't always work out, and especially a team like the Bills, they're going to take all the precautions. Again, all of this will be more clear tomorrow when McDermott talks to the media and we get a more official report, but this is, at the moment, what we know.
So what does that mean for the Bills now, trying to get the number 1 seed?
You know what, JB? I say we table that. Let's interview our man Ryan here, and we'll come back to that. So those who are watching, stay tuned. Give us about 15, 20 minutes. We'll be back on that. How about that?
The Big Drumboski. The Big Lebowski, the Big Drumboski.
That's where everyone gets a W from in my name. That's literally where everyone gets a W from
All
my
right,
name.
So hold on. Ryan, so he references the Big Lebowski. Please tell me you've seen the movie.
I myself have never seen it.
No.
It's a sin. It's a sin.
I'm disappointed.
I'm gonna defend Ryan here. Don't waste your time. It's horrible.
Really?
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I've never seen it.
Don't waste your time.
I think I have to watch it. I think I have to
That's
watch
for you,
it just
JB.
for the principle.
That is
I think I just have to watch it for the principle.
That is slanderous. I am so upset that you would say that.
Don't do it.
JB, I thought you were like the rug in the movie where you tied the room together. You just you are like when they piss. It's like the scene in the movie when they piss on the rug. You pissed on my rug.
Yeah.
That is what you did. You took what I thought you were, which was the rug that tied this room together, and you pissed on it. Why would you do that?
I'll gladly do it again. Horrible movie.
I'm genuinely upset. Ryan, I'm giving you some homework. Please go watch it because it's a great movie. I don't care what JB says. I mean, look, when you got a character named the Dude, okay, and he's got a whole thing between, bowling, drinking, and saying that rooms are tied together by rugs, I got to tell you, I don't know what more you can want from a movie. It's pretty great. It's funny.
I think it speaks on so many levels.
See? I already got Ryan on my side. I like it.
Bad movie.
Unbelievable. JB,
I've never seen
I'm offended. John, that's homework for you too. Go watch it, please. Just because Deb agrees, JB, she's going to agree with you. What did you think was going to happen? I'm just saying. All right, JB, I'll throw it to you first. Let's start off these questions. Let's get real.
Oh, you throwing it to me?
Yeah. Well,
You alive?
nobody else's name is JB. That's your name.
Well, there is a guy at CBS who stole the name from me years ago.
Oh, okay.
Poker game. We'll get to that story another time.
Okay.
But so Ryan, you're pitching for Penn. How did you decide to go to an Ivy League school rather than like the SEC where it's warm all year, up in the Northeast playing baseball? What made you decide to stay with Penn and especially an Ivy League school where, it's not as easy to showcase sports?
Yeah, I mean, I was always a Northeast kid. I grew up in New Jersey. I'm from South Jersey. So I've always been close to Philadelphia. Starting my sophomore summer, my travel coach, Coach Matt Varango, actually, he came up to me and he was like, you have the potential. I know you value academics. We can try and get you to an Ivy League way, or you can kind of go the way towards like an SEC or higher D1 school.
Hold on. Going back to that comment for 2 seconds, that is correct. JB is a rug. You heard it here first. JB is the rug. Continue. Just wanted to make that very clear.
Awesome.
He is.
Okay, awesome. But yeah, so I was given the opportunity sophomore year, and I was like, obviously Ivy League. Anyone who knows me knows that academics are a very strong point of my life. I view them higher than baseball. However, it does not defeat my baseball aspirations. But yeah, so I was given that opportunity. I said yes. It was actually kind of hilarious. My first time going to a Penn camp at the end of that summer, I got rained out on, so I did not get to pitch for them. So I went that fall and showed up at a camp, and right after that, kind of just walked around campus, fell in love with it. It takes you straight out of Philadelphia. Credits to Locust Walk. Truly just, there were so many factors of just hominess. It took me out of the city. I'm afraid of the city. I'm going to tell you that right now. I mean, it's grown on me as I get here more, but coming from rural middle New Jersey with nothing around me, where the closest thing is 30 minutes away, like I could walk to a McDonald's from here. You know what I mean? Like it was just a whole
welcome to civilization.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I was saying. I felt so distant. I felt like I was literally discovering civilization for the first time. But yeah, I came here and I don't know. It just was a lot of factors. I knew that it was going to be a very good investment for me in the long term, because even if baseball doesn't work out, I have probably one of the best educations set for me as I graduate. But yeah, there's so many good things. The coaches also are amazing. Coach Jared, Coach Schwartz, Coach Sant, and Coach DiMaria do a wonderful job with the players. And I'm very fond of all of them.
And I'm fairly certain baseball will work out because you got a hell of an arm. I'm just saying.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate
John being
that.
A kiss up today.
I know. I'm just saying. Like I've seen. Like the eyes don't lie. Being past the eye test,
kidding.
Man.
Just kidding.
So
as long as I pass the eye test.
What's your number one pitch?
That's a tough one. I mean, I'm known for just like throwing sinkers and sliders, but more specifically, my sliders, my like out pitch. However, I do have a changeup that I was able to showcase a lot more this fall, and it honestly played up for me. Sorry for that loud noise if you heard that. The city's Philly streets.
Do me a favor, go out there, tell them be quiet, you're on the air right now. And they come back and
honestly, I got it. Hold up, I got you.
I was gonna
do an interview right now. Can you be quiet? All right, I think that'll do it, guys.
Wow, I gotta tell you,
man, so much respect.
I respect that.
If they don't know who I am at this point, like, come on now, they know.
I mean,
you know what? You gotta show them what's up. That's fine. You know what?
Exactly. You gotta let them know who they're dealing with, and they're dealing with me. And I'm a one of a kind guy. I'm very unique, and I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I respect it. All right, so clearly you got a personality, and I mean that, and like you're not afraid to go out and show who you are. Are you the same way when you're pitching, or are you like Garrett Cole or Justin Verlander, where they're like stoic and they're on the mound, they don't want to talk to anybody, they want to do anything, they are just pitch.
Well, first we'll just take a look at my walkout song. I use "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees, so if that gives you anything at all, I mean, like I'll walk out there and I'll start strutting. Are you
doing the dance?
Like, come on now.
Are you doing the dance?
Oh yeah,
that's the question.
It's not like like I'll add a little bit of the dance in there. I got to get the flair, but it's really just about that kind of like bouncy little strut that I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Kind of just it just makes me feel loose, and I like to play loose. So and I thought it matched my personality perfect. So
I like it.
You know,
Would
it's all playing in.
Would you come out to the thing that I think it's Diaz from the Mets comes out to the trumpet thing? Would you come out
my
to
gosh,
that,
Narco.
or would that mess with you?
Funny story about that. I listened to that, I think, 15 straight times before taking my math final. So it resonates with me. It gets me going.
Right. Here's the question. How did you do on that final, though?
I mean, I passed the class. So
all right, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Respect it.
So Narco
That's what
obviously
matters.
worked.
I mean, he's
but
in an
I
Ivy
think
League
for
school,
me-
Jake.
Just good.
Smarter than us three combined.
That's not the question. It's just a matter of how well. I want to know how well that song helps. That's all. I gotta figure out.
It got me fired up. And
is it
passed,
helpful?
so
There you go.
it
That's
was-
all I
it
need
was
to hear.
helpful.
It works for Edwin Diaz. It works for Ryan. Maybe it just works for pitchers. Like maybe that's a pitcher's song. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what I
obviously
gotta know.
we saw Contreras try and battle Diaz for Narco, and we saw how that goes.
Didn't work.
Maybe
That's
it is
what
just
I'm
a
saying.
pitcher thing.
See, that's what I'm getting at. Maybe it is a pitcher's song. So it's not going to work for me. I'm not going to go try it. But the pitcher's got to.
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
But yeah, I don't think I could ever see myself walking out to that. I think it's just like I'm hype enough as it is. So like that just adds on to like so much more accumulating to me. Where I'd much rather be like in kind of like a mellow, funny guy kind of mood, because it just like it makes me feel a lot better on the mound rather than just like amped up and all tense.
Now, are you a superstitious pitcher? Like, can you not touch the white lines? You jump over them? Like, do you have any superstitions we should know about that nobody knows about?
Okay,
when you're pitching or whatever.
The way I see it is that it's a cardinal sin in the baseball world for anyone to step on the line before a game. And then like after that, it's just like as long as you don't step on the line, you'll be good. For me, my superstition, I wouldn't call it superstition. I would call it routine. I'm never really the guy where I'm like, oh, I didn't do this, I'm going to suck today. You know what I mean? However, I do like to stick to my routine, like listening to country music while I roll out on a lax ball to get my arm loose. Like that is essential. Listening to just like slow music as I warm up, essential. Just like it's part of my routine. I'll incorporate the same amount of stretches. Sometimes I'll add different things if I'm feeling a little tighter in certain spots. But yeah, I don't really have much superstition when it comes to pitching because one of our upperclassmen actually says that superstition is a lack of confidence. So I think you have the right to be superstitious, but I mean, I'm a confident kid. So
that's spoken very Ivy League like.
Well, I mean, I guess it's rubbing off on me.
So, I mean, the World Series just ended. You being from rural New Jersey, what team do you like?
I'm a diehard Phillies fan. Been that way since birth.
Say that.
I know. I'm sorry. My pops, dad introduced me as soon as I was born. I was in a Phillies uniform.
I get it.
I have pictures to prove it.
I get it. I'm the same way. I was born into a Giants jersey. I had no options.
Yeah,
from there, it was
literally
just
no other options. My dad, same thing. Eagles, everything Philadelphia. My
Eagles.
dad would have
it's only getting worse.
It's just
only
getting
worse.
I know. Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, Union, baby. Come on now.
All bad options.
I'm Philly. Listen, sometimes I'll be the bearer of bad times, but right now I'm feeling pretty good with where I'm at.
All right. Look, I'll give you this. You are consistent. They're all Philly, so I give you that. Like I know people that are, and this may sound weird, and JB will know what I'm talking about at the very least. If you're a Jets fan, you're a Mets fan, you're a Nets fan. That is the way it works. Those teams automatically go. But I know people that are like Jets fans and then a Yankees fan, and I go, absolutely not. That's unacceptable. You go Jets, Mets, Nets,
I agree.
Or it's Yankees, Knicks, Giants. Those are the teams.
Yes.
That's the grouping. So at least for you,
totally
you got
agree.
your teams. I respect that at least. At least it's consistent. I got to give you that.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's all about the. Oh, sorry. I guess it's all about the rhyme scheme then. You know, like the Jets, Nets, Mets. It's like you got to go by the rhyming kind of thing if you're rooting for the Jets.
You know, I get a pass for it because I'm from Brooklyn and the Nets moved to Brooklyn. I get the pass on that. I wasn't a fan before that, but I'm not going to go against somebody playing in Brooklyn. That's just crazy. That's
different.
But when it's weird
when you're from our area, from where we live. Those are the standards. It's one or the other. There's no mixing and matching.
Yeah, no, 100%. You can't mix and match.
And if you're a hockey fan, it goes Devils to the Nets, Jets, Mets, and the Rangers go to everybody else.
What about the Isles?
Isles are
The Isles go with
Isles are for
the
New
Jets.
Yorkers, for real New Yorkers,
right.
or
That goes-
Nets and Jets sometimes. But
Yeah.
but it's usually people actually from New York will
Gotcha.
take the Islanders. Rangers fans are usually the Knicks fans because again, Madison Square Garden also kind of makes sense. You stick with the one place for your team. That's all.
So now,
Makes
Ryan,
sense.
what are you doing in this time of year to keep in shape and get ready for the season?
So actually, we just ended the fall a couple weeks ago. We ended a little earlier than usual because we're actually remodeling our entire field. We're getting new turf, which is really, really awesome. But to really just stay on top of everything, we're lifting 3 times a week, and these lifts are very, very intense. They're really trying to challenge our bodies and get us to a stronger state of being. I also do a couple lifts extra, like I'm lifting like 5 times a week because we have float lifts that are like optional, but nothing ever is optional when it's assigned by the coaches.
There you go.
Everyone knows that. Like,
Hey, show that clip to your
optional.
coach. He'll appreciate that. Be like, look, coach,
Practice.
Exactly.
it's not just when you're around. I do it all the time. It's just how I feel all the time. I promise.
Exactly. Like, pitchers,
I got it.
optional throwing today. You don't have to do anything. Like, it's all good. No,
But
every
is
single guy on our team is there.
Is it in Philadelphia practice? I mean, come on, Iverson. I mean, I don't know.
He may be too young to remember that. I don't know if he's old enough to remember.
That was pretty good.
I think he's too young for that.
I think he
Are
probably
you
knows
too
it.
young for that?
I mean, well, I'm 19, so
Do you
Look it
remember?
up.
You
You know
are you
Allen
familiar with the
Iverson,
practice? You know.
yes, I know Alvin. Iverson.
Okay.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
I-
I just had to
yeah, I-
establish that.
Yeah, look up on YouTube his practice rant. It was great. Gotta
Oh,
love Allen
JB,
Iverson.
it reminds me of who was the coach? I want to say he was the Colts coach. Where he goes playoffs. I just want to win a game.
Yes.
I can't think of his name right now, but it's one of those quotes that it's always going to be like it's iconic. It's just special.
Yes.
Every guy in middle school, when I was in middle school, every guy in middle school had the Iverson jersey. Every guy.
Oh,
It
he
was
was
all
iconic.
Iverson at that time. Iverson or Kobe, that's all you had back
Yep.
then. Like nobody wore anything else.
Yeah, totally.
That's
I mean, 2 superstars. So
Yep.
So Ryan, as a pitcher, who was your guy you looked up to?
Oh wow. This is a tough one. I love the way Max Scherzer plays. Even though his playoff run for the Mets didn't go as hot as I wanted him to, the intensity he just brings on that field just like is exactly what I try and strive for. I also have fondness toward Nolan Ryan just because his last name's Ryan and he's also really good at baseball.
I was going to say, he was a pretty good
kind of-
pitcher.
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
He was pretty
too,
good.
So I guess I'll take that. But yeah, no, those two are probably the biggest inspirations to me. Also, my dad, he wasn't like an actual MLB pitcher, but he threw a lot of good BP to me and my friends as a travel team. So got a lot of my skills in that regard from him.
Those are the most important people you have in your corner. It's not just about
I agree.
we bring you to practice. You got to have someone who's going to throw you BP. That's important. Or in your case, probably,
He would,
how many times did he play catcher for you?
oh my gosh. I can't
Exactly.
even go over the number of times.
Exactly.
Like it's
That's
impossible.
See, that dad's the real MVP right there because he
I
not only did
totally
he do BP,
agree.
but he sat there while you threw at him and he could have hurt himself, you know.
He also would just be a great just disciplined guy because
Hey,
him not moving and just keeping the glove there
I like
makes
it.
you have to execute your pitches. If you miss wide, you have to go chase the ball and you're just
I love that.
feel all
Or if
degraded.
you miss
as you're
and
trying to
hit
get
your
it.
own, if you hit your own dad, then
That's what
I'm
that's
saying. That was
really
the
bad.
that-
So
All
gotta
right.
be
That's
accurate.
what scared me as
all right,
well.
shout
Every
out to
time I
Ryan's
threw-
dad because Ryan's dad
Yeah,
is just,
shout out to my
he's the
dad.
man.
Shout out to Tim
trooper.
Dromboski. He's the man. I love that guy.
I love it.
That's the big Dromboski.
I
You're
love
the
it.
small
Yes.
So
Dromboski.
now
Little
There it
the
is.
most important question of the whole interview. When the pitching coach comes out in the middle of the inning and everyone converges on the mound, what are you guys really talking about? Is it what do you guys have?
That's a good question. I like that.
What's
Okay,
in the
so
clubhouse
I
after
think-
the
I think
game?
They're talking about their DraftKings bet or
Are they
whatever.
talking about what's going to get for dinner? Like, what's going on?
I think it's just I think it's a combination of everything. We'll have obviously they got to get the point across. All right, listen, you're going against this guy. He's really good at hitting the inside fastball. Let's think the sliders only here. If you're a matchup kind of guy, or if it's say a starter who's just going 5 innings, he got into a little bit of trouble, 2 outs, first and second and third. They're just all right, this guy's been consistently bad. Let's do it. Other times, coach will just come out there and just be like, hey, calm down, dude. And he'll just like say some random thing that makes no sense whatsoever to any of us, but it makes us all laugh at the fact of that. Like after he leaves, we're just sitting there. We'll be like,
Did he really
yeah,
just do that?
okay then.
Yeah.
And you just like it can be the most random thing in the world or just the funniest thing in the world. Like, oh yeah, guys, listen. Either way, the Phillies won yesterday. We're good. We're good, guys. Like it's simple things like that just kind of take your mind off the situation. So anything that causes like a little bit of a distraction from what's going on.
Or maybe he's offering you like fantasy football trades. Like, hey, I'll give you AJ Brown for like Jalen Waddle.
See, yeah,
listen.
There's a little bit. There's some times where you see some fantasy trades involved or like something along those lines. Like,
I
like,
love it.
What do I do here? Like, what's the move? So yeah, it's really just like again to kind of just distract you a little bit, get your mind off like the pressure that you're dealing with, and kind of just to recenter back in and be like, listen, it's a game. We're here to have fun. Coach has said some random stuff, but we're just gonna go at him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So JB asked about being in the like whenever the coach comes out and you guys are all converging and whatnot. What is it like whenever the coach wants to take the ball from you? What is your response? Like, I'm curious how that goes down. And then, like, is it awkward whenever you're like, hell no, I'm not giving the ball up, and he's like, no, give me it, or whatever? Like, how's that work?
Okay, so I mean, for me, as like I in high school, I was a starter. Last year, I was a reliever for Penn, so it didn't really like the way I knew I was getting taken out is like, okay, maybe like an inning goes by and I'm like done, or if I'm in the middle of an inning, say it's like 1 2/3 that I went, and there's a guy who's known for drilling inside fastballs and has a really good eye, and he stinks against lefties. They'll be like, all right, Dravo, like, come on. Even though if I want to be like, yo, I got this guy, you just got to accept it. I mean, I understand the role that I'm in. So it sucks. It's the worst thing in the world because sometimes, like, if it doesn't play out, you'll be in that locker room and be like, oh, why did you take me out there, coach? Like, I know I could have done something. But most of the time, it's just like you'll see the starters give the most fight. Not a reliever, I kind of watch on the sidelines. Some of our starters would definitely show some fire. Joe Miller, who got drafted to the Tigers, he would bring emotion to it. If you're like Coach Yerk, if he went out there sometimes, he would just come back and Joe would still be in that game. He'd be like, you could just see the look in his eye, and it's like fire burn, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, let's go, Joe. Come on, fire me up, you know? So
you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see you ever. I don't know if you guys know because you're all young. The Benny Hill music with the pitcher running with the baseball. You know, we're not giving it up. That would be hysterical.
I love it. He's just running around the field. Just you have the coach
like a fan that jumped out of the stands and security trying to catch him.
I like that.
Exactly.
That would be great if you saw.
That would be funny. I like that. And yes, I know what the Benny Hill is music, JB. I'm not. Look, I may be young, but I am knowledgeable. I think you don't give me enough credit, man.
Well, Benny Hill. I mean, good music.
I know, but you always assume I just don't know things.
You're like 21 or whatever, and you're
John, I'm 22.
22,
on, man.
And you're the only one here.
Wow.
Lebowski.
It's offensive that you just like don't remember how old I am.
Well, you look younger.
All right. Well, when I'm the pretty one and the young one, you got to remember
pretty
this.
one.
Keep up.
The pretty one.
Oh,
wow.
JB. No, wait,
wow.
JB, where's your hair? Oh, that's right. That's right.
I choose not to have any.
Okay. You say that. I don't know what you look like with hair.
Shaves his head, man. Like, what do you want from him?
Oh, I did that
not
too.
Like he's bald.
I'd love to see it.
Last February, I shaved my head. We did Coaches vs. Cancer, so we did the donation where you just shave your head and you give the hair. But yeah, I remember going. I didn't go full bald, but I did get a buzz cut. Wasn't the best look for me.
Yeah, JB, why don't you do that? Donate your hair. Grow it out and donate your hair.
Because I have to grow it then. I don't feel like growing it. It's annoying to have.
It takes care. I get that, JB. JB, I'm with you on that one. It takes a lot of care to do, and you're just like, you're a simple guy.
Way too much time. Too much time.
Too much time. Oh, okay.
It did. Jake, you needed to know me when I was your age, Jake.
Oh, I can only imagine you at my age. I'd be scared.
The time spent in front of the mirror fixing the hair.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And then golf of it was windy, and
He probably had great lettuce.
The struggle. The struggle is real.
Yeah. All right,
Hey,
guys.
Ryan's got great lettuce. Like, you look like you got great lettuce
No,
back
what-
there.
what-
Yeah,
what-
he
John,
does.
John,
That's some
what is
great
with this?
lettuce, man. Like,
John,
I got
stop
some good
using the word
lettuce.
lettuce like you're like he's a hockey player. I mean, come on, like
He does got.
Come
I mean,
on.
I got nice hair too, man. Like,
just call it hair.
I get it.
You're not a hockey player, John. Hockey players can call it lettuce. You cannot.
I
You are a
love
grown
hockey.
man.
I'll
Don't
beat
call
your
it
ass
lettuce.
in
I mean,
hockey,
baseball-
Jake. You want to go one-on-one? I would
Yes,
beat your ass.
because
in
John,
hockey.
you know what's going to happen? I'm going to run into you. I'm going to knock you on your butt, and I'm going to score, and you're going to be on. You're going to be
I'm
done.
like
That's it.
Tyreek Hill speed, like 4.3 40, man. You ain't gonna catch me.
That's not what I'm worried about.
Hey,
I'll throw the puck in the corner and smack you against the wall. What are you going to do then?
I have good stick handling. I'll just,
Oh.
I'll just poke it
Okay,
away.
If
And
John.
then
Jake's
go
on
around.
defense, defense is very difficult. I played
I'm-
defense. I'll tell you right
That's
now,
where I
I did
play.
play defense. It's you got that winger going for that corner puck, and you have a
I'm
free
very
shot.
physical.
Oh,
I'm not
I'm
worried.
an instigator.
I'm not
Jake.
worried about
I'll
John.
take your word. I'll take your word for it, but defenders know how to hit, man. I'm not gonna lie.
He's darn. See, Ryan knows. I know how to hit.
You got to
He's right.
catch. It's like trying to catch Tyreek Hill. You got to do it first.
John, if I put the ball in the corner or the puck in the corner, excuse me, I put the puck in the corner. It's in my control. I'm in control, my man.
You're like a
not
hamster.
you.
You're like a hamster. I'll just let you tire yourself out.
Okay, John. When you're ready to go, let me know. We'll go.
All right.
You guys are killing me.
You
Killing
gotta
me.
leave your house
Children.
first.
I'm ready.
Ooh. he
I'm
says
not
you
at
don't
my
go-
house. I'm at school.
He
You
says
gotta
you don't
leave
go
there
out.
first.
He says you're a shut-in.
That's fine. Remind me, who's 22 years old and who's got a wife and kids? That's right. So who's got the availability to go out? That's right.
Ooh.
I can make the schedule anyway. I mean, I have a
wow.
wife and kids, and I've been to the Hall of
Really?
Fame twice, and you've been there 0 times.
That's fine. Who's
Wow,
got the money to
Johnson.
go? Not me. That's what I thought.
Oh, I can't help it.
I hear that.
I can't help it.
Crickets,
I work a
crickets.
job.
Crickets, John, crickets.
Wow.
We
This
were
has
supposed to
gone
play
way
cornhole.
off the
Whatever
rail.
happened to that? Exactly.
This is amazing. I love this. This is awesome.
We haven't had the three of us on screen in a while, and I just like making fun of John. He got on my nerves before the show started, so I'm going.
Listen, I love it. Keep on doing it. This is great for me. I'm smiling a bunch.
All right, back to this interview. Do you guys have any other questions? I got my questions out of the way.
So, Ryan, did you play any other sports besides baseball?
You mentioned hockey,
yes.
right?
Yes, I played hockey till I was 12. Then I got too big for the in-house league, and a lot of little kids started bumping into me and falling down, and I got the penalty call.
Oh, you mean like when
I
John
don't
will
know,
play
man.
me, he'll just kind of bump into me and fall over. Gotcha.
There's
Cool.
no
Yeah, like
penalties.
similar to that.
There's no penalties in backyard.
That's not the point I'm making. See, John misses the point. I'm just making a point that you'll run into me and just fall over.
Stronger than I look.
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Yeah, so I played hockey. I played rec basketball with a bunch of my high school friends. Very fun time. Love that. But I was also on the soccer team from freshman to junior year of high school because senior year I want to just focus all on baseball. But yeah, I've dabbled in a bunch of different sports, and it's made me a better athlete. What can I say?
Love it.
Very cool.
That's a good attitude. John, you
John?
want anything else?
No, that's everything. I'm interested in talking some sports.
Yeah. All right. Well,
If you're able to say, I don't know if like.
I'd love to. Please.
Okay,
I
sure.
entertain all options.
all right. So JB, you want to talk about the Bills? I said we'll get back to it. Take us away, sir.
Looking at their schedule, it's not really a very tough schedule right now.
No.
The next 4 games. Who's their backup, Jake? Let's
I
talk
believe
about
it's Case
backups.
Keenum right now. Yeah.
I mean,
So a viable backup. I mean, when you talk about backups, it's better than it could be. Like
Manageable.
Him and
Manageable.
Diggs did work together in
it's
Minnesota.
somebody that you could sit there and go, we're not like dead in the water with him. It's
not
certainly a
horrible.
viable backup.
not horrible.
No, I mean, and then when
if
you
you
look
go-
at the games they have, Vikings, Browns, Lions, Bills, I would
They
say
can't play the Bills.
I would've said that
Patriots,
too.
excuse me. Thank you.
I
I
think
mean-
the Vikings are going to be like a tough matchup for them, though.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
I
Kirk
think-
Cousins rolling with them for 8-1. They just acquired Hawkinson. I think they have a lot of tools
Yeah,
that
no,
will give the
but-
Bills a challenge if Allen's out.
Plus, it's not a primetime game, so Kirk Cousins is safe. It's 1:00.
Yes. Thank
He
God.
never does that stupid dance on the
Oh,
phone ever
you
again.
may not like it, but man, was that
I
funny.
hated it.
That was great.
Hated it.
That was great.
And then the
Yeah.
Adam Schefter one was even
Oh,
worse.
that was
I hated
cringy.
it.
That was
That
bad.
was cringy.
That was bad. But JB, to your point of what you were kind of getting at is, if he's out 4 weeks, we're just making an assumption. Let's say he goes on IR, it's 4 weeks, he comes back in 5. Guaranteed comes back in 5, right? So we're talking about, like I said, Vikings, Browns, Lions, Pats. I would say confidently they can win a minimum of those 2 games. Even if they go 2-2, they are totally fine. Everything
that's
I think
dangerous
that's,
with how the Jets and Dolphins are playing right now.
I'm not talking about
Standings-wise.
John. He's only asking about their playoff positioning, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm just saying, playoff wise, I would have no concern. Now, winning the division, I understand.
The number 1 seed's done at this point. You're saying they have no shot.
No, I don't think that it's done, but I don't think it's as guaranteed as it was. I think it becomes a harder road to number 1 at that point because Josh Allen can carry you in ways that almost any quarterback in the league can't. So for me, it becomes a little more difficult because then we're talking about guys, I think the Dolphins would have a chance at winning that division, which then essentially would put them in that conversation. You got the Chiefs, of course, so you can't discount them. I mean, those are just 2 teams right away that I think, yeah, they got a chance at it if Josh Allen's out for a couple weeks.
You can't discount the Jets. They just beat the Bills. I mean, I'm not buying them, but you can't discount them.
I don't think
they'll be a wild card. They'll be a wild card.
Like I don't think it's. I don't think it's.
But
fair
I'm talking about in terms of JB asked me number 1 seed just now. I'm saying there are, in my opinion, really 3 AFC teams that I am probably most scared about. And Dolphins, it's mostly that division. It's Dolphins, Bills, and Chiefs. Dolphins have an explosive offense. The defense could be better, but it's improving. The Chiefs, I mean, they're unbelievable.
So,
and the Bills are great, but you got to hope Josh Allen's safe.
I don't think you can ignore the Ravens or Bengals either. I mean, the
for
Bengals
number
are
1 seed
really
though.
Well.
The number 1 seed.
The Ravens are a half game out of the number 1 seed. They're tied with the Dolphins and Jets in record.
So here's a question though: the Titans, who have no wide receivers, who are frauds as could be, if they would have beat the Chiefs, would have been the number 1 seed going into this week. And you realize, had they had anybody at wide receiver, they'd be the number 1 seed right now.
Correct.
Well, they also have Malik Willis, so I don't know about that.
No,
he's saying he made some really good throws in that.
I understand. You know what to throw.
I understand. I'm just saying I don't want to give him too much credit because if you watched him, he also made quite a few overthrows.
Right.
Which is not on the receiver, of course. But I'm just saying.
But JB's saying if they make some of those catches that hit him in the hands, they probably win that game.
Maybe.
It's weird to see a team. The last time I remember a team this bad receiver-wise was Philly when everybody was hurt. It wasn't that they didn't have receivers back then. It was just everybody was hurt.
That's fair.
They had like 4 or 5 receivers that just couldn't play, so it was nothing. But this is their regular lineup.
Plague.
Yeah, I mean, but this is their regular lineup week to week. How are they supposed to win? And yet they won 5 in a row.
I mean, look, when you have Derrick Henry, I mean, I understand he can only do so much, but he's a one-man wrecking crew on his own. There's no question. I mean, if a player's going to take over a game at the running back position, he's it. And I mean that in terms of like, you don't need to pass to him. You just let him run. Just let him go. He'll beat you. He will beat you to a pulp. It's unbelievable what he does.
If you're the GM right now of the Tennessee Titans, how do you go out there and explain the A.J. Brown trade when that's the one thing you're lacking right now is a receiver?
I go out there and I would just be like, I messed up, guys.
I think it has to be said that the Titans are an A.J. Brown type of player away from being, one of the best teams in the AFC.
Right?
Kind of ironic, isn't it?
It's kind of, you have everything. And, you know what? Let's get rid of it.
It's like, oh, things are going great. Let's just ruin that and get rid of our best player, if not our second best player.
It's like playing a video game and you have it on hard and you're like, this isn't tough enough. Put it on expert.
It's too easy.
Yeah, this is Madden. Let's put it up a level.
It's like, what are you doing?
As much as the Titans don't win from that trade, I'll take it. Eagles on top, baby. Come on now.
Now you think they have any?
He's helped their offense.
Oh, without a doubt, he's been phenomenal.
If you're going to ask who I think you're going to ask,
do they think they're going to OBJ? No.
I think the Cowboys get him.
Not even that. Forget that. You brought up A.J. Brown. If they were going to get rid of A.J. Brown, because let's just say maybe they didn't want to pay him, they didn't want to deal with him. God knows why. Why would you go after OBJ? He's a bigger headache.
You need a receiver.
No,
you need a receiver.
He's a bigger headache. He's a diva. He's going to cost just as much money realistically on
trade-
this season. On this season, how much you have to go? That's why I say no. I agree they need a receiver, but if they were so willing to trade away AJ Brown, it says to me, we don't need him. Why?
The
I would
trade
rather
deadline's
AJ
done.
Brown.
You can't go anywhere else. You got to go for a free agent. So.
I know that, but that's my point. Is I'm saying if you got rid of your best receiver, why would they go for OBJ? You know what I mean?
So what you're saying, if you're a Titan fan, just forget this year.
Yeah.
If I'm a Titan fan,
with a good team, you're just saying, forget it.
No, look, if I'm running the Titans, I go after OBJ. But if I am the Titans, like I'm thinking how the Titans are thinking right now, I don't think they're going after him. Because if they were so willing to get rid of AJ Brown, it says to me, we just don't need an elite level receiver, is what they think for whatever reason.
But that's over and done with. The AJ Brown thing is over and done with. And you're thinking right now, after that Chiefs game, like you look at your receiving core and you say, we have to get something. JB's
sure
right. Like, you have to go and get OBJ.
They
There's
took,
nothing else.
I agree.
They took the Chiefs to the break, probably one of the top 2 teams in the NFL. And
they
could have
frustrated
beat
Mahomes.
If they had a receiver, they win that game. There's no doubt about that.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but you asked me, do I think they're going to get him or rather go after him? I think maybe they'll try, but I don't have the confidence that they will based on an offseason move with AJ Brown. That's why
I don't think he would side with them, but I think
No.
you have to be out there. You got to be the one.
But to me,
leading the
making
charge.
that push, yeah.
Again, for me, the reason I say no is I don't know why they got rid of AJ Brown. My guess
they didn't want to pay him $25 million a year,
and that's fine. But OBJ is gonna be expensive. He's not gonna be $25 million a year.
I mean,
but he's gonna be expensive. So to me, I don't know how much they're willing to spend right now. I don't know.
But it's only half a season, Jake. So you're not paying him a year's worth of money.
I understand. But my point is, he's still gonna. Let's say he signs for his value over a season is, let's just say, because he's injured. Let's call it $15 million. Let's just 1 year.
Not for
15.
8 games. No way.
No, over a year, John.
Oh yeah,
over a year.
But I
So
think what they would
Let
do,
me
Jake,
finish.
is give him like an
finish.
incentive thing. They would probably give him an incentive contract.
God, I'm going to come through the screen. I'm going to strangle you. Let me finish. Because
Okay.
I'm saying over a season, he's worth $15 million. So they're probably going to offer him a lot less, where the max value is probably close to half that at $7.5 million. That's what I was going to get at, which incentives could be part of that, which is what I was going to say.
But if you're okay, so my question is,
they might be willing to spend that, but I don't know what they're willing to spend because, again, they got rid of AJ Brown. So it questions to me, how much is this team willing to spend on a receiver? The answer is, I don't know.
I would go $3.5 million.
If you're OBJ, are you signing a contract with a rookie quarterback on incentives? Absolutely not.
I don't either.
You got to guarantee me the money.
Well,
if you have Josh Allen at quarterback and you say, okay, it's incentives, you know what? I got a guy who I know can get me the ball.
I agree.
Nothing against Willis. He looked good in one game, but
I also don't think he's going to be starting.
He's very raw.
Ryan Tannehill's going to start when he's healthy, but I get your point.
Yeah.
But again, look, if you're asking if OBJ is going to go there because does he want to? Of course not. There's no chance he goes there. If you're talking about will they pay for him, I don't know that they will. I'm not saying they won't. I just don't know because his team, they seem to be content without receivers. And yes, this week may have changed their opinion, but for the entire season, they were totally cool with no receivers. They didn't trade for one. They didn't do anything. They stood pat. I don't know that 1 week says to them, oh, well, let's just go for it now. You know, to me, that makes me question, do they? I don't think they do. I think they just think, hey, this team is the way it is, and we'll do what we can this way. I don't agree with it, but that's the feeling I get from them.
Interesting.
They're a weird franchise. I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of weird franchises, and we'll stay in the same division, somebody was fired, and we need to talk about it. Because
let's talk about that on Friday.
What are we going to talk about on Friday?
What happened? What happened in that division
on this past Friday?
Let's talk on Friday.
Why would we talk on Friday? We're talking on a Tuesday. What are you talking about?
Never mind.
Are you trying to make like a Jeff Saturday joke? Because if so, it's not funny.
Oh,
it's not working. It's really missing. You should have said, let's talk about it on Saturday.
No,
that would have been funny.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was going to say that.
Too obvious. Too obvious to do that.
That joke
was talk about obvious.
That was like Aaron Judge in the playoffs, a swing and a miss.
I respect the effort.
It just didn't work.
I think if he said it's a weekend thing, if it's a weekend thing, I think that would have been like definitely instead of Friday.
See, it makes more
But
sense.
he was willing to go out on that limb, unlike any of us. We were all thinking it, but he was the only one that actually.
I don't want to talk about.
I don't respect.
But hold on, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk
about
about Jeff Saturday yet. I want to talk about the fact Colts fired their coach before we moved to Jeff Saturday. You just skipped the whole step. We got to talk about the fact that the Colts just decided, Frank Reich. Well, we made you put in a rookie quarterback because let's just be real. I don't think he wants to start Sam Ehlinger. And more importantly, he doesn't have a choice because Matt Ryan's currently injured. And they said, well, you're done. Goodbye. I feel bad for the poor guy. I feel bad for him because this team stinks.
I really don't.
His
team's awful. That's what happens when you're a coach in professional sports.
But it's not his fault. It's not his fault. His team
He's
is
been
just
a bad
built
coach.
poorly.
That's business, though.
That's the way it works.
I'm just saying.
They failed at the end of last year against the Jags miserably, missed the playoffs because of it. Like, come on, man.
What shocks me is there's a coach in Oakland that keeps getting on the plane home after every game when he deserves to be left wherever they are.
Well, that's
or brought out to the desert.
We can talk about that in a minute, but no, I feel bad for him because they didn't help him in the offseason. They actually made it worse. Going after an old Matt Ryan, I mean, look, Matt Ryan's highest upside was great to some extent, but like it could have also completely flopped like it did. They also didn't really do anything in terms of helping the offense. Like you're relying on one receiver. That's it. It's not a good formula. There were holes on this offense, and they just decided, who cares? They got an older quarterback, which doesn't fix their problem, and they didn't add receivers. And so I think they set him up to fail. I'm not saying it's not his fault at all. I'm just saying, Jim Irsay, he screwed up big time.
It's part of the
that's
being a professional coach.
But that's why I feel bad for him because
it
it's not
an AFC South thing. Because we just talked about the Titans don't give a damn about receivers. The Colts don't give a damn about receivers.
I know the Texans don't. They traded away DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips.
And the Jags are like, hey, let's give the biggest contract possible to Christian Kirk. Of all people, guy's like a third or fourth receiver. Sure, let's just give him like Devontae Adams type money. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
This division
he's
makes
good.
No sense when
he's
it comes
playing
to
well in Jacksonville, but he's not worth that money. I agree. And now, JB, we can talk about your Friday problem. Or would you? We'll make that joke. Let's talk about it on Friday.
Well, because we talk about on Friday, what comes next?
Saturday.
Exactly. And Friday would have more experience.
That was the joke. I mean, come on.
Played out. I give respect.
Oh boy.
I give respect.
Oh boy.
Jake, you're a harsh critic.
It was just a stretch on the joke because I didn't know what he wanted.
Okay.
What do you want me to say on that joke though? Because
it's okay. You don't get it.
No, I don't. You didn't set me up for a response. You set me up to look like an idiot. Like none of us had any idea where you were going with it.
He doesn't have to set you up to do that.
Watch yourself.
Wow.
I just think it's funny how Saturday never really coached above the high school level, and they just threw him into this position just because of his name and what he did for the Colts. If it's anything to talk about,
I'm going to say this: I'm convinced they called Peyton and said, "Hey, Peyton, who should we hire?" Oh, well, Jeff Saturday was a good dude. All right, go hire him. That. Come on, God. What are you doing? Agree. You're going to tell me there wasn't a better coach out there?
I think even though Saturday is the interim coach, they said that I actually was reading it on ESPN and had some help. But they have another guy who's going to be their he's the assistant quarterback coach. I think he's going to be calling the plays, which is also just going to spell total doomsday for the Colts. I feel because you got two dudes going into positions they've never been a part of in their life. One guy just knows the game for the offensive lineman, and the other guy is just simply a guy who helps out with the quarterbacks who knows what they like to do. So I don't really see it working out.
This was just an absurd move. No.
Are the Colts just
tanking?
Is that their plan?
Yeah.
This
I
is
would put
beyond
that on
tanking. This is beyond
as soon as they saw Jonathan Taylor start sucking, they just were like, "Yep, nope, we're done. We're done. Our season's
what is
done."
I'd love to know what their plan is because this just I'm dumbfounded what they're trying to do here. I can't even begin to figure out what the plan is with this team. It's there is no direction now or the future. I have no clue where they're going.
But you know what's weird? They have Reggie Wayne as a coach on the staff, If you wanted a former player, and that's actually a coach in the NFL, Reggie Wayne's right there, and he was part of the Super Bowl as well.
I mean,
that would have made just as much sense. At least he's a coach
John
on the
Fox,
team.
who coached in
I was gonna
multiple
say,
Super Bowls.
Thank you.
On the staff.
But
I mean, like, how do you not promote him to the just interim? You're not naming him head coach forever.
You have Kevin Mawai, a Hall of Fame offensive lineman, on your staff. He's been a coach for a couple of years.
Because there's a bowl with a lot of white powder in it going around the owner's box. That's all I can say.
So? That is a strong accusation. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Hot take.
You didn't say what that bowl was. You just.
I just said white powder.
That's fine.
Coffee.
It could be creamer.
I was going to say, what coffee is white, JB?
Sugar. Hello.
No,
white powder.
Coffee is not white.
You get a vanilla cappuccino.
What do you put in coffee?
That looks kind of white.
What do you put in
but
coffee?
You said it could be coffee. I heard you say it could be coffee.
I said they could be having coffee.
Okay. All right. I take back what I said. Hey, when you got two people talking at the same time, I can't hear you.
You're killing me tonight, Jake.
What?
I don't know. Ryan, are you available Tuesdays at 8:30?
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to. I'm
all right. I see how it is.
We're just going to totally bypass. Hold on. We're going to do what the Colts are doing, and we're going to totally bypass JT, who's waiting in the background. We could promote him to interim third member.
That's exactly what JB is doing.
We're going to promote from outside.
I don't know. Hold on, John. Time out.
We have 15 shows with.
I was going to say
we're going to promote from outside the organization.
I'm ready to embrace. I'm here for the role. I will do whatever it takes. Whatever you guys need. I'll do research if I have to. I'm ready to go.
Only if you have an assistant that'll help you broadcast on Tuesdays at 8:30. If we can find that assistant, you're in.
Okay, 100%. Love it. I'll see what I can do. I know some people around here. They can figure it out.
You're pushing my buttons today, aren't you? You're going for it.
I don't know.
So
it's a reunion. That's what it's supposed to be. Sorry to cut you off.
There's no way it's a tank job because first of all, the teams below you in the standings, you're not gonna out tank them. You're already 3-5-1. So like the teams below you that are really, really bad, like the Texans and whatnot, like you're not gonna
hold on.
Them.
Right. I thought we took care of the noise.
Tell the ambulance.
It's Philly.
It's an ambulance.
You know what, JB, have some sympathy. It's an ambulance or a cop car. Somebody might be hurt
on Friday.
Exactly.
Every
5 minutes there.
Have some
as much as I'm trying my best. I thought I talked to the guys. You know what I'm saying? I thought I told them that
JB, I think I can reprise my role now. I think this is a reason to keep me on. I don't provide such distractions.
Is much quieter.
Look at Frank Reich trying to get his job back.
That's true. All right, Jake. Fair enough. You got me beat there. You have less noise. Wow, so much difference.
We're big time here.
Fair enough.
All right, John. What were you saying about tanking?
Yeah. So, like, first of all, they can't tank to the.
Oh, JB, you got something to tell us.
Oh man.
All right, John.
They can't tank. I mean, they're too far up in the standings. They're 3-5-1. And if you heard any of the comments Jim Irsay said, he basically said, I'm going to paraphrase. He basically said, we didn't have another candidate, and Jeff Saturday was the only candidate we had. So basically what he was saying is the guys on his staff were not candidates. The only candidate he considered was Jeff Saturday.
Timeout.
That's what he said.
So I got a question that I would love to ask Jim Irsay. And obviously,
how are the guys on your staff not candidates?
No. So my question is:
how is there not a bowl with white powder in that office?
No, hold on. I want to ask him this question: if they're not even candidates to you, why do you have them on your staff? What are they doing? Because, this is why I ask him. Most teams, like let's use the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a great example. The Chiefs have 2 head coaches on, really potentially up to 3 head coaches on one team. They got Andy Reid. They have Eric Bieniemy and Steve Spagnuolo, who could be coach, has passed. So he's the maybe on the third. But you got a minimum of 2 guys that really are head coaches on one team. Why is Eric Bieniemy there? Because he's great at his job. And one day he could be a head coach. But that's why he's on the team. That's what happens. Usually they work their way up, right? That's how that goes. So is Jim Irsay trying to tell me that his team and everything about it sucks so bad that none of those coaches are even remotely worth considering as a head coach, let alone an interim head coach? They barely even earn their job because of that.
He doubled down
geez.
on this. Whenever he was asked about it, he basically said, I love that Jeff Saturday has no experience. He said, I love that he has no experience at the coaching level because I'm paraphrasing. He basically said, if we brought in a guy that has experience, there'd be expectations. But we bring in Jeff Saturday, that basically there's no expectations. I love that he has no experience, which makes no sense. Then he doubled down and he
triple
implied
down.
He tripled down.
This
At
is
this point, tripled down or whatever he like. It's just
he's really just going all in.
He basically implied that he is willing to keep Jeff Saturday long term. Like, take
well, yeah, I mean, if he does the job, what?
Oh my God!
No, he implied. Like he implied in the press conference today that he's potentially willing to keep him long term, take the tag off eventually, and make him the coach. That's insane to me.
Maybe Saturday wanted to get into coaching, and he went up to Irsay and said, how can I get into coaching? And Jim said, you know what? I have a plan. I have this $1 billion franchise. I'm just going to put you in charge, and if you do good, you can keep your job.
Look.
Well, the thing is,
hold on. This has got to be one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard an owner say. JB, I don't know what that white powder is that's going around, but I am now 1,000% certain you are correct that there is a bowl going around, man. I don't know what it is. I'm going to double down what I said last week. Okay, I made a joke that JB, you weren't here. Or no, John, you weren't here. Who wasn't here last week?
One of us, I forget.
It was JB, right?
JB.
Yes.
All right, so John, you heard this joke already, but I'm going to double down on it. They really are a glue factory, and they are just ramping up business, boys. The glue factory it's only just getting started. I mean, oh my God. Look, I thought the Broncos were like painful to watch, and they are. This is like a whole nother level. I mean, this is just,
Well, we got to see them play the Broncos.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
That was the battle of the glue factories. And
yeah.
I told you. I mean, look, and I'm going to leave my comments about them at this. John, the Dolphins got in trouble for tanking for Tua, that whole mess of a situation, right? You guys weren't as blatantly bad at trying to
we won 5 games
that tank was bad, but it was certainly not as bad as this. How do they not get in trouble, right? Like, to me, this sounds like they are tanking, and clearly the league is taking a stance that tanking is not acceptable. So to me, this screams, well, you guys need to be in trouble for what you're doing because you're not even trying to be competitive. You're throwing out Sam Ehlinger, a rookie. He has got no offensive line. And by the way, his head coach, he's got no coaching experience above the high school level. But it's fine. We're not tanking. We really are trying here, guys. I mean, come on.
And also, JB, I don't think that he was looking to get into coaching because when he was asked about, I think it was today, he was asked about it. Jeff Saturday basically said, I was shocked that I got the job. Like, he was surprised that he was given this job. Like, he didn't expect it. I don't know if him and Jim Irsay were just having lunch and Irsay was just like, hey, do you feel like coaching my team today? Like, I don't know, but he was surprised that he got the job.
They were sharing a bowl of white stuff.
Maybe they had an overnight sleepover like they do in Dallas, because in Dallas, sleepover is the way to get hired. That's the process.
I don't know.
Maybe that's the new way of hiring coaches.
You know what? They had a sleepover on Friday and went into Saturday. That's a good joke.
Yeah,
that's a good joke.
That was the second best of the year.
That was good.
Bravo.
That's how you make a Saturday
level. It's no JB level joke, but it was pretty good.
That's how you make a Saturday joke. Thank you very much. But all right.
Well, the Colts will be a joke on Sunday every week going forward this season, but that's for another day.
JB,
now that we got the whole weekend involved.
The Colts are a joke not just on Sundays. They're a joke on every day of the week. That's just a fact no matter what.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, them and the Raiders, who are two of the most dysfunctional franchises this year, they play this Sunday. It's going to be an absolute train wreck.
That's what I like to call a tank bowl. On that note, we're going to wrap things up. Ryan, tell the people where they can find you, my man.
All right, guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Ryan Dromboski or follow me on Twitter at Dromboski_Ryan. And be on the lookout for our Twitter as well at UPenn Baseball. You probably will see me on there. Me and the
Love it.
Twitter guy are pretty cool. So, you'll find some good videos of me going around Locust Walk, talking to people for baseball. But, guys, thank you so much again. Like, this is truly one of the biggest honors for me. To be on a show as great as yours, it's all surreal still to me. So
All right,
thank
Ryan,
you guys so much.
What do you really want from us? Because now you're just blowing smoke.
I swear I'm not blowing
I'm
smoke.
just kidding.
Listen,
I'm just
I
kidding.
sound like I may be an operator, but I'm being
I'm
told what to
just
say.
kidding.
But I promise you, you guys have been all genuine to me, and I truly can't thank you enough.
We appreciate it. JB.
JB_ the program here every Tuesday. Tomorrow we got the J&J Sports Express at 7. We got the South Florida Tribune Sports Exchange sometime around 9. And next week we got both sides of the coin at 11. Make sure you're here every Tuesday.
John, real quick.
Blue Hawks 13.
He's a man of few words. You guys can find me at Jake_Malik. And as you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, that's all the places to find Sideline Sports. And on that note, everybody have a good one, and we will see you next time.